Hello and welcome. This is Ben with the Wandering Ogre. And today you can see we have a lot of pumpkin things going on today. And we are going to make a vase using foam pumpkins. Something that can be done for relatively reasonable. And it looks pretty neat. So you can use this vase with real live flowers, or you can use it with fake flowers like we have here. This little setup here was put together for $1.98. I had a couple different little arrangements I was able to purchase at a local supermarket, and I used zip ties to attach them. And then we have our foam pumpkin here. This foam pumpkin's been painted up and kind of added with a Halloween theme. But the big thing that we're going to do is today we're going to show you how to convert a foam pumpkin into a usable vase for either artificial flowers or for realistic or real flowers, or real bouquet. And what we've done is we went ahead and inserted a plastic cup into this in order to secure it, so you can put water in there and you can put your flowers in there, or in this case here, this nice little cute artificial display over here. And the neat thing about it is what we're going to show you how to do is do two different arrangements today. We've got a larger pumpkin with a larger cup inside of it, and then again the smaller one. And these can be done for so cheap. That's what's neat, is that for a couple of dollars you can put together this whole little display. The pumpkin here itself was $10. The cup itself was 50 cents. These two of these little artificial arrangements were 50 cents. There's a couple zip ties and some hot glue, and basically for what would that be? $12.50. You have an amazing little display that's unique to you and no one else. What you're going to need is a foam pumpkin, which we have our donor pumpkin right here. Then we need a cup that's about the same height. And so if you have a tape measure, you can buy, or when you go to the store, measure your pumpkin. Here, these guys are about 8 inches tall. And then go around and looking for your cups. Measure your cups also. And we're looking here at right around just over 6.5 inches, which is going to work out really well since these pumpkins have a buildup of foam, and they're also indented here on the bottom. I'll remove the sticker here and you'll be able to see it, but there's a little bit of a dent like a normal pumpkin would have, and what that does is that gives a little rise in the bottom of the pumpkin, lifting this cup up. And so this 6.5 inch cup sits pretty well right here at the top of the pumpkin, allowing you to then put water inside of it and put a real flower bouquet inside of it. So now that we have our cup that we picked up for 50 cents, and we have our foam pumpkin. This pumpkin here would be a $20 pumpkin, depending on what craft store you go to. If you're buying them off season, you can get them at even a better discount. Or if you go onto my Etsy page, I have these listed for $5. You do have to pay for shipping when you order from my Etsy shop, but I have these pumpkins for $5, which is a huge discount from any kind of craft store or anything like that. The negative is I don't have a lot of them, so when they're gone, they're gone. All right, we're going to use a box knife. This hole here does not have to be perfectly centered. As you can see, what I went there is I took my cup, traced the outline, and I now have the circle the exact diameter of this cup. You do not have to be perfectly centered, just close, because when you put a bouquet on the top of it, it's going to kind of hide that anyway. And just like a real pumpkin, we'll go ahead and take the top off when we're carving it for the holidays. We might need a little trimming on the inside in here, clean it up. Went ahead and did that. And then we'll check our cup, stick it down in there, see how we fit. It fits super snug. That's exactly what we want. Now, if you want to, you can leave it like this. Put the water in there. This allows you access to get into there if you had water spill on the inside of the foam, or you wanted to dry this out after the season so that you didn't have water or anything staying in there for any longer of a time. The other option is which what we're going to do is we're going to glue it in place. Now, I'm going to use hot glue because I love the simplicity of hot glue. You, however, can use anything like an E40, a Gorilla Glue type glue, a clear, or you could even go to the extent of using like a painter's caulk, which then could seal the entire top of this and then be paintable. Especially if you intended to paint this pumpkin at some point, you can use that painter's caulking and paint, cover the entire seam, and then paint the entire thing once that caulking is completely dry. And you can then hide any bit of glue or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and just put some hot glue on this because I want it to be done quickly and I am not very patient. So one thing I do suggest is getting a very good hot glue gun. This one here is fairly mid-range. There are definitely cheaper alternatives to it, but what I like about this hot glue gun is that it has a high and it has a low setting on it. And when you put this on high, the hot glue gets super hot, and other types of foam and materials may actually melt with this heat from this one here. But the benefit of it is that it will bond to anything and it gives you a longer working time with the hot glue. We had a little mess there. Let's see if I can't get that cleaned up. Then we're just going to shove this down in here, and that excess hot glue is going to pop up over the top. That's fine. That's going to seal in all the little gaps and everything like that with the foam. And look at all these spider webs that we have here coming off that hot glue. But that's the issue with hot glue, is you get that. However, this will be glued in the next 30 to 45 seconds, which is the benefit of hot glue, is that we're done here with this in 35 to 45 seconds. That's it. We have now finish this up. We will go ahead and clean this up with this glue. That hot glue that got on the outside there will pop right off. That's the beauty of hot glue. We'll let that sit over here and cool off while I show you this cup here. This cup here, also 50 cents at the supermarket. It has a square top to it. And we're going to go ahead and use that square top to cut here and insert it into this pumpkin. Nice. And very little cleanup. If you need to, you can trim these up. I don't think so. I think that once we put a flower arrangement inside of it, we won't even notice any of our glue or anything like that. So pumpkin, 20 bucks, cup, 50 cents, some hot glue, some zip ties, and a nice bouquet already set up and made for $3.98. And it's going to look fantastic as a centerpiece. It's going to look fantastic as a holiday decor. So thank you for watching the full video. My shop is The Wandering Ogre. It's on Etsy. The Wandering Ogre, all one word, is the shop. If you want to message me or comment in the video, you can also find me on Facebook, or you can also find one of my other stores on Facebook also. So I would love to hear from you. I'd love to have a comment or a question and maybe show you how to do any of these other projects that we have laying all over the table today. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.